This is Chronicle on WCVB Channel 5.
Waiters, order by touchscreen. Cashiers, skip them.
Because of innovations that make the checkout line kind of obsolete.
And did someone say room service?
Yo2 will be up to your door within 15 minutes or less.
One more robot, one less job for humans.
Think your line of work is immune? Don't be so sure.
How do humans fight back? Prepare for the new wave of technology careers.
Companies that have millions of entry-level jobs that go unfilled.
Find the right classes.
What education has to do is to make us robot-proof.
Find the right employer.
People that made me want to become more than I ever thought I could be.
Race against the machine, next on Chronicle. Good evening, everyone. What's worse than losing a job? How about losing a job to a robot?
Right, but that is a real possibility in this day and age. Meet Yo2D2, the newest employee at Yotel Boston, a boutique hotel in the Seaport District. Need a toothbrush, towel, bottle of water delivered to your room? Yo2D2 is at your service.
Just dial 0 from the guest cabin telephone, and Yo2 will be up to your door within 15 minutes or less.
Could this be the future of work? A place where simple, easily programmable tasks get turned over to machines? The answer is yes and no.
I think you're going to see a lot of hospitality kiosk robots. Here at Yotel, we're already doing that. We have the option of our kiosk check-in, departure, and we have Yo2D2 now.
Restaurants, too, are heading toward kiosk ordering. At Honeygrow in the Fenway, Brian Davis says bypassing human counter help saves customers time and allows them to customize their dish with ease.
The kiosks allow us to focus more on the food in the kitchen. It frees up some of the hands in the kitchen to put more detail into, the finesse of creating a delicious stir-fry salad.
But some wonder if kiosks will mean fewer hands and more not-so-golden handshakes for employees. Several studies predict that robots and automation could result in pink slips for nearly half of all U.S. jobs in the next 20 years. Think your line of work is immune? Don't be so sure, says President Joseph Aoun of Northeastern University.
Every job that can be turned into a process will be replaced by a machine. Every job that will require creation, innovation, entrepreneurship, working with people, those jobs will remain.
It's easy to see how in the not too distant future we might not have as many long-haul truckers because of autonomous vehicles. We might not have as many front desk clerks in hotels because of automated check-in. We might not have as many cashiers because of innovations that make the checkout line kind of obsolete.
Andrew McAfee is an MIT economist who's thought a lot about the ways technology is already reshaping the jobs of the future.
Once every century, some wave of technology comes along that's so powerful that it just changes the economy. We had it with the Industrial Revolution and steam power. We had it about 100 years ago with the combination of electrification and the internal combustion engine. And I think we're seeing it again with this combination of interconnected devices and weirdly powerful artificial intelligence and machine learning systems.
The robots may eventually come for your job, but Christopher Guerin of the Associated Industries of Massachusetts doesn't see it happening just yet.
The robots are not taking anybody's job. In fact, they are working hand in glove with existing employees to extend their productivity and, in fact, adding value and compensation to the jobs of the human employees who are there.
That's what's happening at Barrett Distribution in Franklin, a 250,000 square foot order fulfillment facility. Though in 2016, when they brought in these rolling robots, there was some concern about how employees would react. Denise Canal is an operations supervisor at Barrett.
When we first had the robots come into the building, the employees were a little hesitant about the robots. Are they going to take my job? But as my group has started working with the robots more, they're really comfortable with them. They're really easy to use.
And best of all, they improve working conditions here, cutting down on the distance pickers have to walk by about half, and that can amount to several miles every day.
You take away a lot of the tiredness from people. You take away the travel time, because instead of having 15 people walking back and forth between aisles, you have one person stationed in a zone and just focus about the bots that are coming into that area.
Tim Barrett is the company's chief operating officer.
Jobs evolve all the time. So there are jobs that we have today that we didn't have 20 years ago and certainly not 50 years ago. So what it's allowing us to do is to upgrade the job that our employees have. So we're able to hopefully, pay better, give them a skill set.
Clearly, some jobs will change, some jobs will shift. But I think ultimately what we find is these things kind of work themselves out.
Things will work out, says Andrew McAfee, only if education becomes better suited to the new economy.
We should not be preparing people for a world of routine work. We need to be preparing people for a world of creativity, a world of problem identification and then problem solving, a world of working with teams. These are all significant growth categories. There can be job growth in all of those categories, but we do need to rethink and retune our educational system.
Incredible. And talk about jobs evolving. Who would have thought 10 years ago that there would be a social media marketer job category, an app developer, or a blogger?
Right, never even heard of those things.
Right.
But technology, of course, has always led to shifts in the workplace, obviously. I mean, if you go back 100 years or so to 1870, at that time, 48% of all employed Americans worked in agriculture. By 1970, 100 years later, it was around 3%. So these seismic shifts happen. The key for us, obviously, is to evolve, and that's important for education as well, as we're hearing.
And the unknown is always a little scary. The manufacturer and his employees learned to love robots.
Productivity went up, the machinists earned more, everybody benefited.